we did find some hidden damage over here that we didn't see at first. What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be working on this 2016 F150, and in today's video, we're going to be getting into the damages and taking everything apart just so we can evaluate what we need to get and what we got ourselves into. But let's go ahead and get into that teardown process and start on that. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a look in this engine bay right here, and just so we can see what we got into. And obviously this right here, this whole curtain right here actually got pushed in, and we did find some hidden damage over here that we didn't see at first. As you can see right here, you can see where the firewall just tucked a little bit, as you can see. But it's not bad. Whenever this gets pulled, that will come out, and hopefully we don't have to replace any of that, because it is really just a small kink. And we also found some more damage down here. As you can see, these right here were broke as we expected, but also the tie rods were bent, and we don't know if this axle right here is good or not. We'll have to just tear into that and see what's up with that. But this whole little control arm right here, or this knuckle, it's completely cracked right there, which is crazy. It must have hit pretty hard. But luckily, that right there took most of the impact. So that's really good, because this tire is actually still good. And they have like brand new Michelins on them, which, saves us a lot of money. They have a lot of tread on them, and those are really good tires. But let's go ahead and hop on this front end right here. And, what we wound up doing is we didn't feel any coldness in the AC. So we're gonna go ahead and take all this apart, and we'll probably just replace it with some OEM parts. That's what we're gonna do for like all the builds, and if we can get them. And that's what we plan with this one. And all this right here, since we didn't feel any cold air, we're gonna go and replace all that. And you can look down here, and the intercooler looks like it's completely fine. None of that got damaged. It was really just that top apron up there. But there's a lot of damage right there. So we're gonna go ahead and start taking off this fender and all that stuff, so we can see what underlying damage we have right there, and see if anything else has to be replaced. So let's go ahead and hop on this right here and start taking that apart. All right, guys, check this out right here. It's actually not as bad as we thought. You have this huge curtain right here, which is really like the only thing on this side that's bent in. As you can see over here, if you come over right here, you can see that this right here actually tore instead of bending this real bad. So this right here, since it's slightly bent, it should be able to get bent right back out, because it's not that bad. And all of our suspension is good other than this right here. And if it barely went a little further, it could have messed up our brake booster and all that stuff. So really, this extent of damage is like, it's really good. But I'm confident we can get this, back the way it should. It's not too bad, for the right person. But what we're gonna work on now is we're gonna go ahead and take this radiator support off and the bumper off. And see if we have anything else damaged that we can find. But let's go ahead and get onto this radiator support and get it taken off. All right, guys, we're gonna go remove the fender and the headlight, because we can't remove the radiator support until we move these, because the headlight support and the bracket is mounted on the radiator support. So we're gonna go ahead and remove these so we can get to that radiator support. got the fender and all that removed, so now we can finally get to the radiator support. There's usually a lot of things you have to remove on these newer cars to, you know, even get to the simplest things. But we got the damaged fender removed and all that. And as you can see on our door right here, it's honestly like everything from the door and back's in really good shape. Maybe a little nick here and there, but you know, it's not a cause to repaint a whole panel. So we're just gonna touch that up right there. It's no problem at all. But this side looks really great. The suspension's good and everything. But we're gonna go ahead and jump on this radiator support right here and get this taken off. All right guys, we got the whole front end ripped off right here except for the bumper. We're about to get to that right there, but let me know what you think about this right here. There's so much room up here, and we've just taken everything, as you can see, just everything off of this thing, and it just looks completely bare. It doesn't even look like a recognizable F-150 anymore. But there's the radiator right there, guys, and you can see the damage right here. You know, this thing was just, you know, it was cracked down here. This thing was not reusable. The AC condenser and the transmission cooler was probably good, but we're just gonna go ahead and buy this whole assembly. We'd prefer to do it that way. Instead, like it's cracked all over here, you know, we're just gonna go ahead and buy a whole nother assembly. It's just gonna be easier that way. But you can see, you know, there's not a lot of damage up here at all. Like all of this is in great condition. And what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna go ahead and rip this bumper off and see if there's any damage to this intercooler or anything like that. But right now it's looking good. But let's go ahead and get all this ripped off and get into that teardown. All right guys, we were having the time with this little bolt right here because it was like bent up in here. You can see right here, what we did is we took these vice grips right there and kind of slid them into this groove. And you know, after a while of smashing our fingers, we got that to work. So that's really awesome right there. But we're gonna go ahead and see if we can remove this right here and completely take it off. We're kind of struggling with that little bolt right there because it was about impossible to get it off because the bolt was just spinning the stud in the back. But we got these to work. But we're gonna go ahead and we already removed all the bolts, so we're gonna go ahead and take this little bumper off right here. Guys, we just removed this right here and we thought this was really cool. There's actually like an electric little housing right here, and what it does is it closes these vents and, you know, right in front of the intercooler. So I thought that was pretty cool. If you guys know anything about this, you know, leave it down in the comments and let me know, because that's news to me right there. But I thought it was pretty cool and I thought I'd share it. Got the whole front end right here disassembled. Take a step back and look at all this. It's, you know, completely bare now. There's really nothing else on it, you know, except for the frame, aprons, and there's really nothing to a truck. You know, it's completely different from a car. It has these up here, and the frame rails on the bottom are a lot beefier, as you can see. We'll have to get another one of these brackets right here, which is completely fine. Luckily, this intercooler, it didn't take any damage at all. Really, all it was, you know, this little frame apron piece right here that connects to this apron, and we'll have to get that replaced, you know, on the frame machine. But we went ahead and marked down all the stuff that we need, made notes of that. We're getting parts really soon on this, and so we can get this build done quick, because it's a really nice truck and we want it completely fixed and on the road again, because trucks like these deserve to be on the road. But we're gonna go ahead and hop on this little intake right here, because it is broken into pieces everywhere, and we're gonna go ahead and get that taken apart and off of the F-150. All right guys, now that we have the front end disassembled and all that really done, we're gonna go ahead and get these parts cleaned up right here And you know, what sucks is these are all of our bad parts right there. It's, you know, really our whole front end. We didn't, you know, get lucky on a lot of pieces. Everything was kind of broke, and you know, it left us really bare over here. And right over there, those are all the good parts that we have, you know, a headlight and a headlight bracket and just the liner. But all this stuff, we're gonna go and get all this cleaned up and wrap all this up. Alright guys, that's going to be a wrap for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did. This build is really fun, and it's going to be moving along very fast because we want this thing on the road again because it's a super nice truck. And we do have some really nice plans for this truck, guys. We did stuff a cloth in the intake so nothing happened to in there, or no birds get in there, stuff like that. But if you guys enjoyed the video or have any suggestions, anything like that, just leave it down in the comments, guys. I really appreciate it because I'm learning, you know, with you guys, and these builds are new to me just as they are new to you, and any help is, you know, greatly appreciated. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications, and I'll catch you next time.